Welcome in. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to the stream. Tonight is going to be super, super awesome and special. I'm attempting another Asteroid Marvel. We're going to see how this one works out. I'm kind of excited to see what happens with it and what we can do with it. Hopefully this one doesn't have a problem. What's up, Jenny? How are you? All right, we're going to pull this thinner all the way down. Need to keep this one super controlled. Bring it way down just a little bit. I think that's going to be good. Oh, what's up, everybody? Jenny, Gail, how are you? Laura, how are you? Melissa, what's going on? Colleen, hello. How are you doing? I'm a little bit late tonight. I ended up with my big old feet kicking all the wires out of my PC. So I had to go in and redo that. That was fun. What's up, Jeff? How are ya? What torch do I have? I have the Glass Torch Technologies Kabuki. Who doesn't like saying Kabuki? It's always a fun name to say. Kabuki. Where is it at? There it is. Just making sure I got everything lined up for tonight, because once we start going, this one's going to go fairly quick. And last little bit that I need is right here. And right here. Yeah, when this one starts going, it's going to go fast. We're doing good. Thank you for asking. How's everybody else doing? So yeah, this is going to be a fun version. Hopefully it lives. The first one, the asteroid itself, the little chunk in the middle, it lived, but for some reason, whatever glass I used on the outside to kind of give it that spacey theme, it did not work out. So it ended up cracking way deep inside. And there's no saving that when that happens. It's just, when it's done on that. But the asteroid, or the little centerpiece, actually did live, and it looks really good. I'm going to show you here in a second. And this one's going to be a fun attempt. We're going to try it again and see if we can get it to work. Let me grab the little light here. So in the center, you see that little spot right there, that little marvelicious looking dot. That is the silicon chips here. And we have the uranium popping in it too. We are going to throw some uranium in it as well. And get it looking good. What's up, Red Squeak? This is the Marvel from last night. No, Marvel's last night already went out. That one had to get in the mail quick. Okay, so we're going to make that tonight. We're going to have no cracks in it this time. No cracking. Make sure we're all set. Then this is the little glass we did with the little bolt running through it. That's the one we did last night. I kind of dig it. It's just a simple little glass. Does make it nice handle though. That part is the benefit behind it. All right, I need one specific. Oh, we're just going to have to do it the hard way. What's up, Dragonfly? How are you? Red Squeak, how you doing? All right, here we go. So we're going to separate this rod. I'm going to pull off a chunk of that silicon, and we're going to encapsulate it. Okay, so we got this separated at the moment. Let's pull off a little chunk. So this is the raw material we're using, the little silicon chips. It's kind of like a broken apart wafer. I think that's what these actually are. Let's see if I can use a little glass here. There we are. Ooh, this one looks good. So this one has a little length to it. It's like a little, it's a long one. We're going to use that too. I'm going to pop that in the mold. Might put both of them in there. Yeah, might make both of them in that. Why not, right? Stack them. All right, let's go. Red Squeak, thank you for the big super chat there. Everybody's doing good. Thank you. Big shout out to Red Squeak. Kicking the night off here. All right, let's get this started. Let's get the party started. I'm actually going to use a big chunk here to get it started. And we're going to attach and make a little bit of a, like a little bit of a ball. Got a little fuzzy chunk there. And then we'll encapsulate that first and start to see how it looks, and maybe do the second one. I might make a dual one. All right, let's get the first one done now. All right, so we are just getting a little raw material built up here. Okay, I'm going to start separating it. Like that. All right, so first one, we're going to pick up the first chunk, which is going to be the long one. I'm going to try that one out. We are going to try it out. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you all are doing fantastic. Good to see everybody. We are attempting the second asteroid encapsulation marble. The first one, the actual asteroid encapsulated fine, but the back end of it did not. It ended up cracking in the very back, and it's a section that I cannot fix. I can't take it out. So I am stuck with that one. All right, and it'll never break, it's just cracked. All right, so we got to encapsulate this very slowly. That's looking good. And I think we're good on that. I think we're going to do 2 tonight. We're just going to go big on it. What's up, Bale? All right, that actually looks really good. You know, this one actually does look like 3-Eye Atlas a little bit. It's got this really long chunk to it. So first job is I just have to get it centered up. And I think we're okay right there. I don't know if y'all can see that little chunk sitting in there. Oh, yeah, you can. See that glowing chunk? That is the silicon. Man, that one's showing up really good. You could definitely see that one. I like it. What's up, KCH? How are ya? All right, let's attach a little punty here. Yeah, you could definitely see that bad boy right there. All right, let's pull this off. I wish the music from 2001 Space Odyssey wasn't copywritten. I'd be playing that in the background right now. All right. So next step, we're going to kind of round this off. I don't know which end we're going to use right now. They both look good. I got 0 air trapped in there. What's up, Steve? How are you, Steven? What's going on? All right, let's get this mellowed out a little bit. When I say mellowed out, I'm talking about taking off the sharp edges. We're just going to mellow out the whole thing. Just taking the sharpness off. Meaning it's kind of funky right there. So we want to get it round. Fine as wine. Oh, I like that. I'm fine as wine. That's a good phrase. So give me a minute and I will show you what this looks like. I need about a minute. Get this kind of rounded out. And we're almost there. I'm feeling this is going to be a kick butt marble tonight. Oh, you like the jellyfish? Yeah, that is the uranium jelly. All those little tentacles are uranium glass. It's a little radioactive. Not really. Radiolicious. All right. And there is that. Now you can definitely see that little chunk in there. I'm super happy that y'all get to see that. So that is the little tiny chunk of silicon that we have encased in there. And we're going to be adding that into a marble. Oops. All right. First things, though, I got to fix this hummingbird thing. Nothing wrong with it. It's not broken. It's just when I removed the punty, I never trimmed it. So this is the hummingbird that has the uranium and the Lucy flower to it. But I have to fix the little punty here. All right, that one's good to go. All right, next step. We are going to encase that little second chunk of the silicon. So we are doing the asteroid theme tonight. And in this marble right here is a little tiny chunk of silicon, just like the little rocks in front of you right here. There's a definite space theme going on in here. I'm going to see if I can flip it so you guys can see that better. There. A little bit more of the space theme behind it. But everything back in the back, that little bluish area, cracked. And that's too deep. I can't fix that. There is no fixing it. All right, let's get the other piece encased here. We are encasing the other piece. And then we're going to start building the marble. This actually is going a lot faster than I thought. It's definitely a lot quicker. A lot quicker. All right, a little bit more, and I'm trying to base it on the size of the little chunk in there. But as most of you know that have been with me for a while, I am a huge space nerd. I love anything that has to do with space. And this whole 3i Atlas thing kind of got me thinking, I wonder if I could do a marble that kind of had a little tribute to 3i Atlas, or 3i Atlas inspired. So we are making a 3i Atlas inspired marble. And we're going to pick up this other chunk right here. And to do that, we are encasing actual silicon from like what they make the silicon wafers from. That's a little nub of it right there. And this is it down here. This is the raw material, silicon. That one is part of a defunct cylinder of silicon. So it didn't pass the quality test. So they end up taking that and turning it into just raw material. And I happen to get my hands on it. All right, we got that one encased. You know what? Maybe we're going to do two different marbles. This one we'll save for another marble. We'll do two of them tonight, maybe. Because I'm going pretty quick here. Anyway, so I got a bunch of the little raw material there, the chips, and broke it apart. It's been a fun material to encase. All right, let me get this mellowed out, and then we're going to work on the other one. I think we're going to do two marbles tonight. I don't see a reason to put two of these in one. Maybe just do two separate marbles. We'll try two different themes and see what the heck happens. What do y'all think? Is it quartz? I'm not sure. I wouldn't be able to 100% say yes or no on that. I'm not a chemical scientist on that part. I'm not a materials person for that. I just know this material I can absolutely encase. All right, now you see the little nugget of it right there. Man, this one is lighting up for some reason. Both of them have been. Man, I'm so happy. This is showing up awesome. So I have two versions of it too. So I have the grindy stuff. I call it grindy. And then I got the shiny version right there. You can definitely see the shine versus the, like, I call it grindy. This one's kind of cool, but that stuff works great for asteroids and things like that. In fact, I'm just going to leave this out. We'll just put this up here. All right, let's work on the second one. Or first one. So this is the first one. You can see the little, it's elongated. It very much resembles 3i Atlas. Vallejo! I know Vallejo. I grew up in Union City. Ooh. That is an interesting thing that just happened. Well, we're going to have to see what happens now. It completely split all the way around the middle. And then it sealed itself back up. What the heck? Huh. That's a little bit different. All right. Anyway, I got to get this all sealed up now. Yeah, it had cracked all the way. I guess it didn't like the thermal shock. It literally split in half, and now it's all back together. That's a first. And not a single ounce of air trapped in there. What the heck? That is weird. I've never seen that happen. Man, not on this. I've never ever had it. All right, let's run with it. Let's go. So we're going to start building the marble up with a big chunky monkey front end on it. And this is a crappy piece of glass. We are not using that one. Hopefully this one's better. Much better. See, sometimes the glass comes in, even from the factory, and it is scratched to heck. I get really angry when they ship that stuff, because those little scratches turn into like little micro fuzzies. A little bit fuzzy. All right, here we go. A little attachment there. And we're going to magnify the heck out of this. And then we'll put a beautiful background on it. I do sell the marbles. These will be available. 100% available. Oh, there's my huckleberry right there. Perfect. Got to use a little bit of a wider flame right now. Yeah, these are not up right now, but they are. They will be available. You can message us too. Do I sell the scrap glass? Donate? No. I donate some scrap glass to people that I know. I have been known to send, random shorts to friends. But I recycle a lot too. I do a lot of recycling. Turn it into frit. And here we go. Yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up button, the like button, that will really help me. Absolutely, I sell. All right, let's get this built up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adding a large section that is going to magnify that little chunk in there. It's going to magnify it up. So it's like anything. You take a small little item, take a magnifying glass to it, like fine print, and then you can see it a lot better. Adding a lot of clear on here is doing that same exact thing. It is basically magnifying that chunk up. Allowing it to get really, really nice and visual. I'm going to set this down right there. And we're going to make sure everything's looking good. Everything's screwed up underneath my bench right now. Yeah, the big rod was solid. I dropped a tiny, tiny little screw, and I couldn't find it, so I had to tear everything under my bench apart to look for this tiny little screw. I was like annoyed, but I needed the screw. It's like one of those ones you could not replace very easily. Okay, so now you can see that little chunky sitting in there. That is the silicon chip right in there. I'm trying to say... It's a little off-center. I'm going to try and recenter this. It's a little off-center. It's bugging the crap out of me. I don't want to get halfway through this marble and be upset that I didn't take a few minutes to straighten it out. What's up, Cruisin'? How are ya? So yeah, this is a marble that is inspired by the 3i Atlas that came through Buzz in our area. And we're using silicon from what they make silicon wafers out of, or basically all your little computer chips and processors. We're taking a portion of that in its raw form before they ever got to processing it. And we're breaking it apart, turning it into little space nuggets inside a marble. I think I'm going to coin the phrase space nugget. Anyways, my first attempt, the actual silicon stayed together very well. But the back end of the marble cracked all to hell. So the back end of that, all that little bluish area right there is cracked to no end. But there's a little space nugget sitting right there. So my first attempt definitely failed. You guys want to see the self-portrait? How you doing, Bayo? What's up, Nate? All right, so I'm going to try and recenter this little beauty in here real quick. Basically, I have to pull this down a little bit, and then when I push it back into its position, I should be able to maneuver it a tiny bit. It's not far off. It's a little punty trick here. You machine silicon electrodes for a computer chip? Do you really? That's awesome. So you recognize this stuff. Well, probably not that, but this you probably do. We are making a 3i Atlas inspired marble. And in order to do that, I am taking a silicon wafer, or a broken part of what makes a silicon wafer, silicon, and we are magnifying it right now. And we're going to turn it into a space-themed marble. All right, let's get this pushed around a little bit. I'm going to try and recenter this before I go any further, and then we will get to making the rest of the marble. But this stuff is extremely durable. I mean, I can hit it with the flame and it does not want to melt at all. All right, so we got it, I think, kind of centered. I'm going to bring it down, flatten it just a tiny bit. And hopefully I got it recentered. This stuff acts really weird in the marble. I got to be honest, in the glass, it floats around in there, and it like floats around for a really long time. Like it moves a lot more than it should. Right, let me get this kind of broken down right here. I don't know what the properties of it are, but man, it makes it move. It's kind of like a puppy when you tell it to sit and it just doesn't want to do it. It just keeps going. But yeah, this is one of the materials we're using. This is the shiny version. This is silicon. This is what we are encapsulating. That's the shiny version. This is the one I'm using right now, though. This is kind of like the chunky monkey. I call it fuzzy. Kind of does that. All right. I think I got it recentered. I'm going to show it to you, and we'll get started making this marble. I guess technically we have started. Got to keep it spinning, but now you can see that little chunk dead center in there now. So that is the little chunk of silicon sitting in there. And hopefully we can make it look incredible with a nice background. Okay, let's go. Let's get it. Yep, that is exactly what silicon looks like. It is a total trippy material to work with. When I get done with this marble, maybe I'll take a little chunk and I'll hit it in the flame, and you just see how durable it is. All right, let's add a little heat to the subject. Technically, it's not hotter, it's just bigger. It's definitely not hotter, it's just bigger. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm giving a little bit of background to it. And then we're going to add color to it and create a, I don't know, I'm going to try a spacey looking background. But before I do that, I want to create some separation, meaning a little bit of separation between the actual chunk of silicon and the glass, the colored glass. So that way it does look like it's floating in the marble separately. And here we go. We're going to separate. That should be enough. And so far, so good. But yeah, my first attempt completely failed. Well, not completely, but I can't do that. Do I use dichro? Yes, I definitely use dichro. Not only is it difficult to spell, it's difficult to say in its true form. Dichroic. Who the heck came up with that name? Dichroic. What's up, Miss V? Miss V's in the house. All right, I got to keep it spinning. It's got to keep moving, but now we can see the little chunk. See how it just magnified right there? So I got to keep it moving, though. It's going to waffle on me. See how it just magnified? Now look how small it is in there. It's so tiny, but with the color on it, yeah, it definitely looks good. All right, first color we're adding. We are going to be adding a kind of a blue-green sparkle, but it does present a little bit of a ghostly space theme to it. So this is the color in its raw form. I'm going to shine the light on there so you can see it sparkle a little bit. Stop. I don't know if you can see that shimmer to it. It has a little bit of a shimmer. And we're going to add that in there. The color is going to completely change. But it's going to give wisps of like nebulas in the background. And here we go. There we are. Add a little bit of a wisp to it. I want to grab some uranium. If I was uranium, where would I have put myself? No, that's not bright enough. Am I going to have to pull it straight? See if this has some glow to it. Yeah, all right, so we got some glow right there. So we're going to add a little bit of uranium to it. Let's pop that in here. We're trying to create a little bit of a nebula look to it. So I want a tiny little green ghostly look to it. So a little bit of uranium always does it. A little bit of uranium won't hurt you. It is actual uranium. Yes, very, very little. Have I heard of nanoparticles to create a red hue? You're talking about fuming, and yes, I have. It's a very cool process. Okay, and then we're going to add this little bit of shimmer. So this color is intense. We don't want to put too much of it on there. That's about as much. Not much at all. It is overpowering otherwise. And then we're taking some clear and we're going to finger paint it. Creating a little bit of a blended nebula in here. Like that. Now we got all the color for the back end. All right, so there's all the little bit of color in there. We got the little chunky monkey sitting in the middle. We're going to take this and we're going to kind of create it down into a little bit of a cone shape. So we're just going to bring it down and create a little bit of a cone. No, these aren't new. These glasses are actually my old ones. These have a darker shade on them. So these have the shade 5 filters. My other ones are shade 3. So these are just a little bit darker. Speaking of shades and stuff, where's my little thingamajigger? There we go. So this is the material my glasses is made out of. Plus I have a welding shade number 3 added onto it. So I'm going to bring this in front of the flame so you can see how, this is how I see the world versus that. So you can see the drastic difference that it makes right there. All right. Now we have all the color right there. So the next step is I want to create it a little bit of a vortex, meaning I want to kind of create a spiral in there. So it should look like a spiraling galaxy behind the little silicon chip there. So we're going to take it here and we're just going to heat it up very small and right here and give it a tiny little twist. Then pull it down like that. Yeah, we definitely have some nice color going on. So now we got all the colors kind of bouncing around in a little bit of a cone shape. Here's where it starts to get awesome. Now we're going to back the whole thing up with black sparkle glass, and then we're going to envelop the whole thing and magnify the entire piece. So let's get going. So this part sucks. I hate doing this. And the only reason I hate it is it just takes forever. Okay, we're coming right up to the termination spot right there. Push it in. Okay, and then we can go all the way around on it now. So basically we're taking all that color that we put on there in the beginning, we're fully encasing it, making it not visible from the back side of the marble, so that when you look at it on the inside, it looks like a spacey galaxy. And we're just kind of rolling it all the way through. I might actually create, depending on how this looks, I might actually create a really cool back end of this marble too. Give it a beautiful backside. All right, we got to put a lot on here. Like about that much. I'm going to set that off to the side so I can come back at it later. All right, so this is one of the stages we're at. And we're going to start melting a little bit more black. I'm going to even it out a tiny bit. And then we'll go from there. We are making a incredible 3i Atlas inspired marble like this right here. So see that little tiny chunk of silicon in there and then the background to it? We're creating that. But that one that's in front of me broke. It cracked. I failed in a certain aspect and it cracked. So I'm trying to redo it so it doesn't crack. Because crack is bad. All right, here we go. And this is exactly why I got my darker glasses on today, because this color tends to get super, super, super bright in the flame, and I need a little bit extra protection today. So instead of the shade 3, we're using shade 5. And I think we're almost there. A little bit right here. All right, so we got enough on there for the moment. Probably going to come back and revisit that in just a little bit, but for right now, it's good. So very unorganized looking right now, but we're going to get it into an organized shape. And that's where we're going now. So we're just going to kind of get it to mellow out a little bit, smooth it all out, and make it look really good. So we're getting everything smoothed out. Your meteorologist was talking about it tonight. Oh, the 3-eye atlas? Oh, nice. You know, as most people know, I'm kind of a space nerd in a lot of ways. So anything space related, I love. And this was just kind of getting me thinking, I wonder if I could do it. So that's why I'm kind of attempting it. I have heard about changes in colors. If you guys have any information on 3-eye atlas and you want to share it in the chat, please do so. If you want to talk spacey stuff, I'm all hands on deck for that one. Let's go. We love that. 3-eye atlas. Yeah, that comet that has been flying through space. It's hard to miss. It's been all over the news. I know, space, the final frontier. Correct. See, I'm such a nerd. I can't decide between Star Trek or Star Wars. They're both awesome. I found both to be amazing. And someone says, which one if you had to choose? I'm like, I don't know if I could. Okay, Red Squeak, awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I could choose between Star Wars and Star Trek. I don't think I could. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they got video and pictures of it. They're just not willing to share it. They're definitely not willing to share that stuff. All right, so we got half of it. That really bright section right there is the black. I'm going to kind of fill in the middle with some black. I'm going to try and get it a little bit. So this is kind of where I have to be careful. I don't think I want to add any more. I don't want to make this marble too big. Maybe we'll do a little bit of streaking around the middle section just to make it balance it out a little bit. But yeah, I absolutely love space themes. To be honest, one of my favorite shows in space related now was the The Expanse on Amazon. I thought The Expanse was like an amazing show. I couldn't stop watching that. All right, here we go. All right, I think I got it. So what I tried to do here is I'm trying to make the line that goes around it super even. I'm just kind of breaking it down. A little bit more. One more pass, and then we're going to start actually turning this into a full-blown marble. Yeah, prior to doing live streaming, I was binge watching The Expanse while glassblowing. Definitely. Oh, we're looking good. A little bit more room right here. I think I am going to do a little bit of uranium fluff on the back of it. A little uranium fluff. There we are. That should be enough. We should be good. 2001 Space Odyssey? Yeah, that's a great movie. I was saying earlier, too bad it has a copyright to it, like music copyright, or I'd be playing it in the background right now. You have a 7-foot tall Darth Vader. Is that the cardboard cutout or the actual full-blown version of it? The Darth Vader. I had a cutout, like a big movie cutout, and it had a speaker in it, and you could walk by it and it would actually play Darth Vader. It was kind of trippy cool. Nope, no risk at all about molten glass splattering. None whatsoever. All right. So right now, I'm just trying to get this broken down a little bit by shrinking it down a little. And we're going to get it looking really nice. Pink, blue, or green uranium glass, I'd say all three. Well, right now I'm going to work a little bit on the back part, and we're going to add some uranium to it. There's uranium on the inside of this right now already. All right, so this is the part that kind of sucks right here. I'm just trying to get it mellowed out, sealed up, and smoothed out right here. And then we're going to bring it over, re-punty to this backside that I'm currently working, and we're going to start smoothing the top layer out as well. And decide if I want to add any texture to it. All right, I think we're good. Kind of almost looks like a mushroom hat right now. All right, we're good right there. So now we'll start really getting it into shape. I may do a decorative design around the outer edge. Nope, I've never accidentally caught anything on fire. RDO Fats, thank you for the 67 joules. All right, here we go. All right, so the next step is to kind of get this to match up with the black a little. All right, so we're going to separate it here. So what I'm working on is a version of this. This was my first attempt. We took silicon, little chips of it, and I broke off a little chip, encased it in this marble. And it looks pretty awesome, except for the back end cracked right there. All that blue that you see behind it is all cracked. In fact, the bottom, you can definitely see the cracking happening. But the actual silicon itself stayed very stable. Have I ever had long hair? Yes. I did for a very short stint in Vegas. I had it down to like the middle of my back. I had a big old ponytail there. But I cut it for locks of love. The person that asked me to donate my hairs, he was a hairstylist there. And he said the hair was very unusual for coloring and that he would cut my hair for a year for free if I donated to Locks of Love. Now, I would have done it just because, but I definitely took the free haircuts for a year. And come to find out, he was like super famous in Vegas for hairstylist. It was kind of cool. How long did it take me to grow it? It wasn't long. My hair back then grew very fast. The only thing I didn't like is how heavy it was. It's like my hair was super thick. So it was incredibly hard to keep it like styled because it was so thick. All right, right now I'm just getting rid of that crease that's right in between there. This part's a little boring, but I will use the shield while we're at it so you guys can see what my glasses do. So this material right here is just like my glasses. And now you can see the world of borovision versus that. So this is borovision. And that's how I see everything. See? We'll do it this way. You'll definitely see a drastic difference here. Here, watch this. See the flame is almost gone? Watch it just above the shield. It's buzzing, but right in the middle, it's just kind of disappearing right there. Versus that. Ooh, that's hot. That's toasty. Kind of cool, right? All right, we are looking really good right now. We got the little chunk right in the middle there. It's very, very visible. So I'm just kind of getting this middle section smoothed out. So the problem, I'll explain, the problem I'm trying to accomplish, to solve here, is where the black color meets the clear, there's a little separation right there. Because the clear flows a lot faster than the black. So I'm trying to keep them the same, like, blended version here. I don't even know how to say it. All right, I think we're there, though. All right, first step, we're going to start using the marble mold here. Now, the marble mold is made of graphite. Graphite, just like pencil lead. Graphite is one of the materials that will not stick to glass. So it's very, very helpful to be able to use it for glass blowing tools. The only drawback is it's very, very fragile. So it can chip, break, and get damaged very easily. All right, a little bit more here, and I think we're going to be repunting to the other side. Then we'll finish up getting this thing super, super round, because it's a little wobbly at the moment. A little bit of wobbles. This marble is not sold. It is not. All right, look at that one. Oh my gosh. Almost looks like a B-2 stealth bomber, too. I don't know. It's got some funky, cool shapes to it. All right, we're going to switch it up again, and I'm going to add a little bit of uranium to the back end. We're going to swirl it around and just give it a little bit of a little vibe. Oh my God, the color in the back though, holy moly, it looks really good. Here we go. All right, so we're going to work this little bit of section here. We're going to throw a little bit of uranium on it. I might even put a little shimmer. Not much, though. I don't want it overpowering the piece. I definitely don't want it overpowering. Now we're going to grab this and just pull this off. There. Seriously, break. Oh my gosh. It won't break. There we go. All right, let's just grab some uranium. Just like that. So basically we spun a little bit of uranium glass on there. We're going to blend it all up. It's not going to stay like that. And then we're going to add a lot of this shimmer into sections. A little bit, not a lot, a little. Right there. I don't want to overpower this. Okay. A little bit on the butt. All right, so what we did is we took a little bit of some shards of little strings of glass. I'm going to finger paint it, blend it up, and then we're going to smooth it out, and we're going to turn this thing into one of the most beautiful marbles I've done ever. Let's do it. So we're going to start at the very butt end. And we're just giving it tiny little galactic swirls. And we're going to come across here. A little bit there. A little bit there. This is essentially just like finger painting. I tell people that all the time because it really is. It feels like you're just literally finger painting, except at 3,000 degrees. Make sure I get it all the way around. We got all these little cosmic swirls running around. Okay. Last little bit is on the very bottom. I'm going to give it a little swirl. Just a tiny little one. Pull that off. I think I just got attacked by a bug. Okay, so now we got all this really cool color bouncing through. It's hard to see, but I promise when we get done with this, you'll see a lot of color in here before I put it in. We will definitely get it handled. And let's go. Let's melt it. Let's melt it in. So right now I'm just blending it all together. Do the mods get paid? No, but I do give them items occasionally, or I do special projects for them. There's a big thing coming up for mods. I have that all planned out for 2026. It's going to be a really neat looking thing happening. I need to create a Discord channel for the mods though. Like a specific Discord channel. All right, so right now I'm just kind of getting this all blended in. We're going to make it into the full marble. There's no more color that needs to be added. Right now, the primary goal is just to get it into its round form and get it looking good. And here we go. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, good night, Colleen. Are you taking off? Have a good night, okay? Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you have a wonderful Sunday. All right, here we go. And we're going to start getting that nice and round. This is absolutely 100% beautiful. Oxygen and propane. Yeah, we definitely do memorial glass. Wow, that one is very smooth. Well, if I have 2 million people, I would probably have to adjust some stuff for mods. Right now I have, 16,000 people, subscribers. We're growing though. I hit the 16,000 in like 3.5 months. So we're doing good. We're doing okay. All right, that is looking pretty darn nice. This is beautiful. Check this out. You guys ready for a partial reveal? You can see a little bit of the color right now. Here we go. A little bit of a shiny reveal. Now you can see all the colors bouncing through there. It definitely has that spacey theme going. And the uranium will be in there. Now, the uranium unfortunately won't show up till it cools off. But it's going to look beautiful. All right, last punty, hopefully. We're going to come over here and punty this up. And we're going to separate it here. Now, I have to be really careful here. This is the part where it can absolutely come off the rod I just attached it to. The reason is it's not fused on there. It is just attached, meaning it's kind of like hanging on there. It's not completely fused on it. Yeah, that's the galaxy on Men in Black. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Thank you for making that reference. It's kind of cool, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to get this round. You can see the little nugget 3i Atlas looking version in there. Little space rock. Now I just have to get this end round, and we should be good to go. It's pretty centered in there, too. The next one I'm thinking of doing is the silicon in the middle, putting some crushed opals behind it with the black so that it has a really kind of opal-y space galaxy theme in the back. And then create a black back end to it. The opal might look kind of cool, crushed opal. Orion's belt, that's right. Orion's belt. All right, just a little bit more here. I'm just trying to get that middle, the black section melded with the clear, and it should be good to go. We're very close. Very, very close. Not far off here. If you want to stick around for just a little bit, you'll be able to see the finished version. Not all the colors will be completely present because of the glass being hot, but you'll get a pretty good idea of it. There we go. Spinning like a champ. Oh, one little crease. I see it. It's got a tiny little crease. Not a bad thing. I just have to fix it. It's like a little canyon in there where the clear is just kind of got a little canyon divot in it. We'll get it out right here. I'm so glad I moved the marble mold to the dead center of the bench. I think y'all getting that view looks so much better. Gail, have a good night, okay? I actually think we're pretty much done. I'm going to try and show you the inside of it. We're going to see if we can get any visual on it. I'm not 100% sure how much is going to pop out of it. All right, you can see the little nugget in there, but on the inside, you can definitely... Oh, yeah, we do got some spacey theme going on. See that? That's the background. All that space-looking stuff in there. I'm trying not to melt my flashlight. There. Then it's just floating in there. It's definitely cool. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a stream without promoting Dragonfly Creations little marble holders here. One of my favorite tools on the planet, if not my favorite tool, made by Dragonfly Creation, one of the mods on here. If you are a glass blower and you do not have this, you are missing out. I'll see if I can hold it above the chat in just a second. I got to really grab this and pop it off, though. Got to start smoothing things out with it. I might be able to stand up and give a little bit of a visual, but it's got to get in the kiln pretty fast. There. We'll see if we can get a good visual on it. There. So now you can see that spacey, galaxy-looking theme to it. And then there's the little floating nugget right there. And this is the back end. All right, got to get this in the kiln. That one looks awesome. I don't know how much. Message me at the Fiery Guy, thefieryguy.com. You can message me there or the Fiery Guy at outlook.com. I'll let Stephanie handles all the pricing pretty much. But it should be pretty awesome. I know, like outside of a black hole. That's what I said. I think it looks good. Anyway, I definitely need to take a short break, bio break real quick, or I'm going to have a problem. I don't know if I'll be back. It's 10:15 at night on a Saturday. So I don't know if I'll be back on. Depends. If Stephanie's sleeping, I'll be back out. If she's not, then I'm going to hang out with her for a little bit. But I appreciate everybody. Mods, thank you so much for hanging with me. And yeah, let's tackle tomorrow too. Tomorrow's going to be awesome. All right. If I don't see you guys, have a good night. And I will talk to you again. Mods, thank you very much for everything. You guys make everything work so well. Thank you so much. Thank you, mods. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Members, thank you very much. All the members, I really appreciate